the Canadian gangster. So how is gang life in Canada?
It's pretty good. You know, especially now that um, I'm mostly in Quebec for this training camp. I was able to start my illegal maple syrup selling thing in Saint Bruno. So I still sell my illegal maple syrup here. And it's the best maple syrup we have in Montreal, and it's like so pure. You know, it's 100% pure. And people, I think, they really see the difference in between my maple syrup and other maple syrup. You know.
That sounds good, man. That sounds good. Let's get into the season, man. Did anything really shock you this season? You know, any fights, any switch ups?
Well, I was surprised that Stevie Ray won twice against Betis. That was a big surprise, and I'm really happy actually for him. But other than that, I think Martinez being colored was a big surprise too. Um, that's pretty much it. I think everything else was come like it should have been. You know, I think I beat all the good guy. My two first fight. The third fight against Martinez, he was undefeated this season, so it was a good foe. And now I have one more fight, and that's gonna be the final. You know.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, you talked about in the past training smarter and not harder, and that could be behind your success. Could you explain what you're doing exactly in your training camp? What adjustments you made?
Well, I don't go crazy anymore. You know, I was doing a lot of sparring before, maybe 2, 3 sparring a week, and I stopped that. I don't do. I must not do any sparring. It's mostly light sparring I do now. But big hard sparring, I don't do that anymore. I found that my body was depleting when I was doing that a lot, and I mean I'm getting older. I'm 33. I may look like freaking 18 years old, but I'm 33, so I'm getting older, and like I don't have any more headaches right now. I don't. My body feel great right now, so I stopped doing a lot of sparring, and we saw me and my partner that when we do lighter sparring, we can try to do new technique. You can practice new technique, and we got better both of us. When we do hard sparring, a lot of time it's just one of us that's get better. So it's I think it was been really good for me and my training partner to change that.
Was it difficult for you to control your animalistic, like when you spar, you get hit, you want to hit back harder, right? It kind of
Mm.
like escalates that way. Was it difficult to control that at first?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think now it's like we ask our coaches that when they see that it's going a little bit harder, that you have to tell us, you know, because sometimes, like you said, maybe we don't even see that escalating. You know, we just get into the moment, and um, like I would say, like 2 years ago, like he was telling us a lot of time, like, oh, calm down a little bit, but now it almost doesn't happen anymore, and I think it showed that we mature.
Yeah, I was watching one of the media days that you did during the season, and you said you were dead inside. What made you that way?
I don't know. It's not I'm dead inside, but like I guess um, it's just that before, you know, I was watching thing, I was freaking crying easily. I was anxious a lot of time, you know, and right now, like I guess it's because all the fights are so close
Mhm.
that we don't have time to get stressed about the next fight. But like every time, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna fight like in a week, and I guess that's life, you know. So I was not really stressed this season, and I was pretty much joking about that. But even like for the final, right now I don't feel a lot of pressure, and a lot of people tell me like, "Oh, are you excited to win $1 million?" And I'm like, "Well, not really. I don't really care, you know. So yeah, that's what I meant, you know. Maybe it's just that uh, the priority of my life changed, and the priority is my family, my girlfriend, my kids, you know, the passion I have in sport, and that's pretty much it. All the other thing, it doesn't really bother me.
The $1 million, it's a topic continually comes up right throughout the season. You ever get tired
Hmm.
of just answering questions about money?
Well, yeah, everybody, you know, asks me like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with your $1 million?" And I don't know, you know, like PFL came to film some stuff here, and they were like, "Oh, that's a pretty small apartment. Are you gonna get a new apartment?" I was like, "Oh, I don't think I need a bigger apartment than that. You know, I'm happy here. Maybe I would like a backyard, but that's pretty much it. I like to go outside, but I don't think I need something bigger than that. So I don't like nice car. I don't like uh, I don't know, shiny thing. I like good restaurant. That's true, but I'm already going to good restaurants, so it won't change anything. I think in my life, maybe it's gonna buy me some peace of mind, but that's pretty much it.
Mm. Yeah, it's almost like they want you to spend the money before you have it. You know, like
Yeah,
is it kind of like
exactly.
that?
Yeah, so I need to fight one more time,
Yeah.
one more season.
Well, your last opponent, Alex Martinez, you know, you guys actually trained together in the past, and then you went in there and dominated the fight. Was there anything that you saw in the training that was beneficial in the actual fight?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really remember our sparring. I remember I was doing really well with him, with Alex, but I didn't really remember anything else from our sparring. And I think Alex really improved, and I felt he was pretty good in our fight for sure. I dominated the fight, but well, like I was happy to share the octagon with a better Alex, and I think Alex gonna be good in the future too.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna improve a lot. So the funny part too, it's like I was wondering, like, do I still have video of our sparring? Because I was at some point I was filming a lot of my sparring, and I do think I have some video of me and him sparring, and I do think I have some video of me and Ray and Stevie Ray sparring too. But I think I'm a little bit too lazy to check that out. But it
Yeah.
would be interesting to see.
Speaking of video, I believe I was watching um in Puerto Rico, like I believe what is it? Craig Jones, and you know they set up camp in Puerto. You were down there, right? I believe I saw you in one of the videos training with them. How was that?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think it was before the split, so there was like a lot of really good athletes on the mat. So we went there for a month because of COVID. You know, here in Montreal, it was not okay to train, so we decided to go elsewhere to train, and we went to with John Danaher, and it was really interesting. I mean, a lot of those guys were training to switch to MMA. So I was doing a lot of ground with Derek Conan, you know. But it was good. Their level on the ground is like insane. So it was a good experience, you know. And John Dar is yeah, he's a great teacher too.
Yeah, yeah, genius. And you know, this season you defeated two former champs. You know, which fight do you think out of the three that you know you had to make the most in-fight adjustments due to your opponent's game plan?
Um, Probably Manfio, because Manfio we had a different game plan when we got in the fight, but I saw that he had trouble. He had a lot of trouble with him fighting in the fight. I saw that, and we changed. Like I decided to change the game plan after that. When I saw that, was a lot more feint, a lot more hand fighting, and that's how I basically won the fight almost doing nothing, you know, which was really surprising to me because we were really thinking that he was going to try something at some point. Uh, at that point we were maybe trying to take him down or do something like this. Like we knew he was a good counter puncher, so we were planning to do a lot of feints, but big hit, and then when he tried to counter punch to take him down, but he was not really countering anything.
Yeah.
He was really I would not say scared, but maybe he was waiting too much a little bit for me, and I was just doing feints and just hand fighting, and that's all I beat him. I mean, maybe I throw the what 15, 20 punch and kicks during that fight. Um, so yeah, I think that was the one of the fight that I was really tactical. I think for some people that was a little bit boring, which it was, but I mean for me it's a good win, you know.
Yeah, and a good experience, right? Because you get to go in there and adjust to your opponent. I think a lot of fighters don't develop that until later in their career, you know what I mean? Because they're always focused on what they want to do, but they don't focus on their opponent. And sometimes, you lose fights because of that. You're fighting another guy you trained with. You mentioned earlier, Stevie Ray, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, you said you're not happy about fighting him. How do you put the emotions aside?
Uh, I mean, I did it with
Mm.
Martinez, and I do like Stevie Ray, and I'm happy for him that he's in the final. But like, unfortunately, I think that's my dream too to win the tournament and to win one of the major belt in the world. So, like, I mean, that's the sport, you know. Like, I'm gonna do what I have to do in the final for sure. Like, it's a tough situation because I would have preferred to find somebody else, but at the same time, I'm really happy for him to be there. So I think the emotion of me being happy for him to be there beat my emotion for me not to be to fight him. You know.
For sure. Yeah, I remember speaking with Stevie Ray a few years back, and he was like separated from his family at TriStar doing his camps there, and I guess that's when so you're not gonna you said you're too lazy to look up the sparring footage and just kind of like go with like what you remember in your mind. But I'm pretty sure your coaches remember, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what happens. One of your coaches, Richard Ho, I think he's a coach that doesn't get enough credit, for what he can do. Could you talk about the origins with him and developing your skills with him?
Yeah, well, actually, I start with
Yeah.
my MMA career with, and at that point he had this trainer, this black belt trainer, Mike Lee, who is now in Vancouver. But yeah, so Mike Lee and Richard Ho really started my MMA and BJJ career. And I stayed with Richard Ho until this point, and I think he helped me in so many areas. You know, he helped me not only technically but mentally too. So, yeah, I do think sometimes you should have more merit, but
Mhm.
that may be uh, that's maybe because of me because I'm always like I'm always telling everybody like, oh yeah, look at me how good I am, and I think I should say that Richard is good too. You know?
Well, stuff like that eventually people find out, you know what I mean? But it's good that you have him to yourself right now, you know what I mean? Beat these major fights. Um
Right, I tell Richard like, you're so good. It's just too bad that I don't say that to everybody.
Stevie Ray, man, he's a southpaw, so getting ready for southpaws, how interesting has that been? And do you have people emulating him for southpaw?
Well, I won't lie. I think it's pretty hard right now to find softball in Montreal. But yeah, we found some guy. Um, uh, so yeah, they try to mimic him, and but it's hard because like he has really a party like he's really traditional in his style, but at the same time the speed is different. So sometimes like we kind of have to say like, oh, that quick. You have to throw the head. You know, you have to slow down a little bit the speed and everything. But yeah, he's a like he's traditional, but he's particular at the same time, especially on the ground. Like he's crazy on the ground. He's doing those crazy moves. So yeah, it's kind of hard to find someone that's gonna really be like him in training camp.
Well, I bet your time in Puerto Rico will probably be beneficial
Yeah,
against
for sure.
Stevie Ray, right? And then you do have phenomenal training partners up in Canada. So what is the perfect night, in the championships? Like, what do you see? What do you envision?
Well, the perfect name would be a finish. I didn't finish
Mhm.
anybody in PFL, so that would be really great. I think it would be such a good moment, especially in the final, for me to win the belt with a finish. But I'm gonna be ready for anything anyway, so I think the best scenario would be a finish.
Yeah, I see a wild fight. That's what I see because you guys have trained
Yeah.
together, and then he's gonna try to take you to the ground. I mean, he's gonna try to continue his dominance there, and you're really good on the ground as well. So I see some scrambles going on, and that's what I want to see. I want to see you guys go at it and at least get 2 rounds in. It'll be fun, right? Uh,
Yeah, for sure. But it's interesting because I really don't know what he's gonna try to do. Like, is he gonna try to take me down? I'm not sure. I think we were all together, and I don't know if he's gonna be willing to do that. And I think he know that I'm pretty good at wrestling, and so I'm really wondering what is gonna be his game plan. But yeah, I'm gonna try not to be surprised if he tries to go all in the first round. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be an interesting fight.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm excited for it, man. Maybe he'll come out and just start brawling. It'll be like, what is he doing? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Oh
Who
my
knows?
God. Exactly.
One last topic, man. From watching, the media days and stuff, it seems like you don't like doing the media. You know what I mean? Or I don't know, maybe you don't like media. Is there something behind that?
So I think like yeah, to be honest, like I'm doing maybe 3 interviews a week right now, which in my mind is a fucking pain in the ass. You
Mhm.
know, it's not that I don't like you, but I do find like 3 interviews a week, 2 months before a fight, it's a little bit
Yeah.
intense.
Mhm.
But like for the week of the fight, like I mean, I kind of like break their balls, like I'm just like I don't really hate them.
Yeah.
I'm just freaking like trolling them, And I
Yeah.
think the journalists understood that, and they kind of they play with that too.
Yeah.
Um, but so yeah, the week of the fight, it's more trolling.
Mhm.
But yeah, I do have to be honest that like those like every week I have 2 or 3 interviews. Like for me right now, I'm in training camp, so I'm training, and when I'm not training, I'm trying to recuperate
Mhm.
or pass time with my family. And like I said, like I understand that I have to do some interview, but like I would rather like right now play with my kids at Fortnite.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I have to do what I have to do. So, but
Mhm.
like it's always nice to have a good interviewer like yourself because it's more fun.
Appreciate it, man. I try to be different, from the cookie cutter stuff. So I try to,
Yeah.
do that. And yeah, man, it's gonna be this matchup is gonna be great. I feel like it's the perfect time to fight each other. November 25th. It's for all the marbles, man. For the championship belt, for the $1 million, all of that. New York City. Olivier, thank you so much for the time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. And I talk to you when I'm millionaire, I guess.
That's right, in the bank. All right, thank you, man. Have a good night.